Hello, friends. So to be completely honest, I almost didn't watch this movie in theaters. Not that you can tell by looking at my catalog of videos over the last couple of years, but I do like comedy movies. My issue is that for a long time, comedies have just been stale and full of immature humor, which is why I generally stay away from comedies. And when I do see one that I'm interested in, I'm hesitant. I think it was the Friday this movie dropped that I was watching interviews, and the vibes are immaculate and the chemistry is tangible. So of course I had to get tickets. Hey there, movie lovers. Welcome back. It's your movie buddy here, currently catching up on some movies I watched a few weeks ago. Whether you're a longtime subscriber or follower, or you're here with me for the first time, I am thrilled to have you here. If you're looking for detailed plot breakdowns, you won't find them here, but stick around for my spoiler-free thoughts and honest opinions, usually on the latest releases, but right now I'm just trying to get back on track. With that all out of the way, grab your popcorn and let's get into today's episode on One of Them Days. When her boyfriend takes her rent money, Alyssa and her roommate Drew race against the clock to avoid eviction and keep their friendship intact. One of Them Days is a little exaggerated, but it truly is about one of them days. As always, I want to get into the themes of the film, or at least my take on it. Now, I know I just said this movie is exaggerated, but I know we can all relate to having an ordinary day that just spirals out of control. Maybe it's the little things, the big things, or it's everything all happening at the same time. It's being overwhelmed, frustrated, and stressed. At the end of the day, we all just need to realize and accept that things happen and things don't always go our way. These bad days are part of life and we have to move forward. Now, let's get into some highlights, and you already know we have to talk about Keke Palmer and SZA, Drew and Alyssa, respectively. These two women are incredible. There's an effortless charisma from Keke, and in her acting debut, SZA is a natural. Their chemistry is amazing, and the pair are beyond entertaining. Keke as Drew is driven, and I love seeing her strive to elevate not just herself, but her best friend. SZA as Alyssa is very much in tune with the energy of the universe, and I love that for her, but she's also constantly trying to lift up her best friend. Their relationship feels so authentic and natural. I love to see how far they would go for each other through the highs and the lows. And the lows are low, which I love. I love that they both get the chance to show that their characters are more dynamic than they first appear. Again, I have to say that it's been a minute since I've watched a solid comedy that I've honestly enjoyed. One of Them Days has a simple plot, but it's really carried by the acting, chemistry, and the well-written dialogue. I thought the script was witty and packed with not just humorous dialogue, but situational humor, which I absolutely love. Yes, it's a little over the top, but it's hilarious. While I clearly love the acting and humor in this movie, not everyone agrees. And you know what? That's cool. People like what they like, so we're going to get into some criticisms real quick, and I'll share my thoughts. I was really surprised that I saw a lot of comments about how ghetto this movie is, and that it is the definition of ghetto stereotypes. I honestly can't speak on this, but I can tell you that personally, I saw it as a slice of life that people can relate to that just happens to take place in urban areas in LA. I do want to point out that I did see a critique from someone who said that One of Them Days, quote, portrayed an annoying, overly ghetto stereotype of Black people coming from a Black woman, unquote. I think if you think this is something that would also annoy you, then I would just skip this movie. I want to wrap this up with one more critique that's really just the flip side of everything I was saying a minute ago. This person said that they expected the storyline and the acting to be better. The humor was dry and the acting was terrible. They didn't laugh very much. The movie was cheesy and predictable. They go on to say that the Cat Williams jokes were not funny and the movie felt rushed. I know, that was quite a bit, but we'll work from the top down. The person that wrote this critique said they expected the storyline and the acting to be better. I think the trailer set up exactly what you got. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm really picky about the comedies I watch, so there's a real chance the bar was already low for me. However, the acting is good. I think Keke and SZA actually did really well. Drew and Alyssa are complex characters, and they bring nuance to the roles, from the comedy, the chemistry, to the deeper moments. The humor is dry and they didn't laugh very much. Now, I can't say much on this because humor is subjective. Just because I thought the movie was hilarious and at one point I was nearly in tears, doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and tell you guys that it's undeniably, universally hilarious. I will say though that I thought the Cat Williams jokes were funny, but they did go on for a while, so it started to get kind of eh. And finally, the movie felt rushed. This is a pretty short movie sitting at 1 hour and 37 minutes. That said, I think for the runtime, the movie is paced well, but it does feel rushed because the stakes are high and the two leads are racing against the clock. Now, let's wrap up with my final thoughts on the movie. After discussing its key elements, the real question remains, is it worth your time? In my opinion, yes. One of Them Days is a cute and fun movie about one of them days, but it's also about friendship. I expected it to be funny and entertaining, but it definitely exceeded my expectations, and I'm not trying to gas it up. I really am being honest with you guys. The plot is simple, but that's not a bad thing. It's not overly complicated, which allows for the situational humor and the character moments to really shine through. I think if you're looking for a feel-good, funny story about two friends just trying to make it through the day, then this movie is worth watching. All right, movie fans, before we get into the usual outro, let's talk about what's coming next. I have been watching a bunch of movies and I'm starting to fall behind. I blame the inauguration and everything that has happened since then. Anyway, we watched Companion, Hard Eyes, and we watched an early screening of The Monkey on Wednesday. I posted a couple of polls to the community tab to get some help with what to talk about next, but I don't think the algorithm likes me right now, but that's okay. Last time we talked, I shared my thoughts on The Substance, and wow, just wow. I love the deeper conversation that movie brings up, but I'm also literally just a girl. I love the blood and I love the body horror. The Substance checked so many boxes for me, so if you want more of my thoughts on it, it is still just a click away. It's a little bit of a scroll to this video's description if you're watching on YouTube, because that one is a podcast exclusive episode. You can listen to it now on Spotify, and please, if you do check that episode out, let's talk about it because my jaw was on the floor. Anyway, as always, a huge thank you to everyone who has stuck around with me to the end of today's episode. Let me know what you thought about One of Them Days. How do you feel about the critiques? Not just the ones I've pulled up, but whatever you've seen online. If you saw the movie already, did you like it or are you not interested? To be honest, like I said at the top of the episode, I was going to skip it, but while I was eating dinner, I was watching interviews with Keke and SZA on YouTube, and honestly, I was obsessed. So I got tickets for that Sunday, and I'm really glad that I did. One of Them Days is hilarious, in my opinion, and I'm glad I didn't skip it. The movie is streaming now too, so do you guys plan on watching it at home? Your feedback is always appreciated, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section on YouTube, and if you're on the Spotify app, swipe up and let me know what you're thinking. I would love to hear from you guys, so let's get the conversation going. If you are enjoying the movie talk on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay updated on new episodes. If you enjoy on the go listening, then you should check out the podcast. I mean, you're going to be there anyway to listen to the Substance episode, right? I mean, once you're there, maybe you're already there, you're already here. You know what I mean. Give the podcast a follow if you like. I would greatly appreciate it. And tune in Fridays for new episodes. Now, this is where I would plug my Instagram, but due to current events, I did uninstall Instagram and I will not be updating it. But I am on Blue Sky at A Rocket Review, all one word. I have to be honest, I've never really used Twitter or X or whatever, so I'm still figuring out how to use Blue Sky, but you can find me there. Your support, whether on YouTube, the podcast, or on Blue Sky, really helps this community grow, and it really means so much to me, and I cannot thank you enough. Until next time, spread positivity, and please, 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 you guys, I feel like it's getting worse every day, and I mean it every episode when I tell you guys, please be safe, take care of yourself, and take care of the people around you. Take breaks from the news, stay hydrated, don't forget to eat, and a friendly reminder that it is okay to distract yourself. So happy movie watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.